Good morning, everybody. All right. So things moved a little bit further than I thought they would yesterday. Um, so we could, I guess, takeaway is the prior day was a bit overdone, but let's see where it goes. It still could have been the start of something bigger coming. Most of those stocks that got whacked recouped some of their losses, but not in a significant way. Even Nvidia, which turned the day around from the prior day, it didn't get anywhere near filling the gap. So let's take a look at that. So where things are at here. So one of the things I wanted to talk about was we said potential for blow off or blowout. And why would that be? Well, there is close to 100% expectation the Fed's going to do nothing. You've got a president that demands, can you believe that? Yeah, I can believe it. That's what Trump does. He demands interest rates go down, which I'm sure there are those in the bond market that are kind of laughing and saying, really, Mr. President, you know, they're not doing anything unless they view the big picture as one to suggest that interest rates should go down. And we all know about the talk about tariffs and potentially higher inflation and those that make the argument, well, if you get rid of all the illegals, you possibly maybe we get rid of the ones that are murdering people, but we're not so sure. Maybe they have some jobs too, delivering for Uber or someone else. And now we won't have people in the workforce will drive up, you know, prices of labor and more inflation and all this stuff that's going on out there. Anyway, so what's my point? Well, first of all, we see that patterns can fail. And this is something that I have seen over the years, not that often, but when they do, these head and shoulders tops, when they fail, there's typically a violent reaction. Okay. And we did get a violent reaction when this failed. Why does that happen? Because patterns are a reflection of what other people think. Who are those people? Traders, investors, hedge funds, institutions, banks, so on and so forth. So this is a reflection of what everyone out there thinks as things come together and why topping patterns typically take a longer period of time to happen because as prices are moving up, that bullishness takes time to dissipate and buyers don't give up so quickly. Whereas if something is trending down over a period of time, not that something can't go up in a climactic way, it can. But when things are going down over a period of time, sometimes that fast draft to the downside, that emotional extreme, brings in buyers quicker, where you get fewer topping patterns or versus bottoming patterns. Anyway, so basically, at this point, we've got a small trading range going on here. And this didn't get into the gap fill, but it got into close to the bottom of those bars, which we can see on the hourly chart. Mm. I mean, by definition, the gap fill would have been getting to the prior day's close, which it didn't do, but this is pretty darn good as far as being able to get up there. Now, we all know today is Fed Day, right? 2 o'clock, and everybody says they're going to do nothing. I guess not. I guess so. They're going to do nothing. That's the consensus. I mean, close to 100% is pretty damn good odds. Um, and so now, what will Powell say? Is he going to kind of say things that would suggest more cuts, no cuts? He's got a president that can fire him. Maybe he wants his job. There's always that political nonsense that goes on, um, and what they could influence. So we're going to see. Now, we go and look at the bond market because that's where the big bang's going to come, if it's going to come, as far as what he says. So as we look at the 10-year, we've got a head and shoulders bottom that's formed. So can a head and shoulder, if a head and shoulders top can fail, Well, the head and shoulders bottom can fail. But at the moment, right, which is, all we know is that it's going to follow through to the upside. And if the bond market follows through to the upside, that means interest rates have to go down. And so here's the 10-year yield, and we see this head and shoulders top, which is now sitting on major support. And it's just kind of sitting there in a holding pattern, waiting. Like we're waiting to see what the Fed's going to do. Of course, we're waiting to see these earnings reports that are going to come out. And so if this begins to dive, equities should go up. And whereas if you see this begins to spike to the upside and we see a head and shoulders top fail, there's the potential for this to rocket higher, just like equities did. And if this rockets higher toward 4.8, there's a very high probability that equities are going to collapse lower. So that's the main thing to be looking for after 2:30 as he begins to speak as to which way interest rates are going to go. Are they going to go up? Markets will not like. And if they go down, right, they're going to like that because lower interest rates are beneficial to equities. And we always look at the 13-week to see what's going on there. And what we see is absolutely nothing, this year. It's kind of a wait and see as to what they're going to say. And, if they were to give some type of comments about lowering for whatever reason, this should start moving down. The 10-year should start moving down and equities should rally, right? Blow off. If they go in the other direction, odds are blow out. Okay. All right. So where are things now? And do you even want to consider doing SPX on a day like today? Yesterday, nothing was touched. Again, like most days, nothing's touched. Prices came close to that resistance area before they stalled. They're down a little bit, like around here. Looking at SPY where it was, so down near those support, you can see the 5-minute, I guess. What would it be? Yeah, I guess give or take. Let's just take another peek. We have time here. Took a little dive there a little while ago. And so on the 15-minute, yeah, it's on that 15-minute pivot. So as things moved up, here's your major support on the 15-minute, and now prices are right there. And you see buyers step up there a little bit, giving it a shot to see if they can scalp a little pop there. But the depth of that retracement would suggest, well, sideways, possibly lower. We'll see. And of course, the weekly chart, we've got too many days to even, perceive where this might close, but we'll see. As far as SPX goes, I mentioned about this big open interest. I think it was yesterday, this big open interest at 6,000 in opposing puts and calls, which is referred to as pinning. And so as it got above, kind of spiked there and vice versa on that day. So at the end of the week, I would like to see like who wins the battle between here closing above 6,000 or below 6,000. And of course, what kind of weekly bar do we get? With the topping tail bar, that would be suggestive that prices are going to go lower. So the strike, at least the call strike today, is up above this high. Things are down a little bit, but if there's a blow off, you're going to get creamed. And if things go the other way with the put strike, you're going to get creamed. Well, maybe it's just a good day to focus on other things. And if you're going to do anything, I guess get out of the way by 2:00, 2:30. All right. Other markets, transports. And I look at this and, over the years, doesn't happen too often. I've mentioned breakout bar failure patterns. And this is setting up as a breakout bar failure pattern, which would be aligned with, I'm not saying it's going to happen because you got no confirmation to see if it actually breaks below here. but you had this consolidation on a wide range bar, and that suggests it's going to go higher. So inside bar is just a resting day, and this could be part of the blowout. So set an alert up here and set an alert down here. That could be another piece of information that would guide you and me and everyone as to that's listening which way prices might be headed, besides just looking at interest rates. Right? So I've seen a few of these out there that set up over the last couple of days. But so far, that had a good day and it's coming up. It's at this resistance area that we looked at the other day. So, again, just look to the left. You don't need any of that fancy stuff. All right, other markets, Hughes, inside day, right? Inside day, no big deal. Still trading within the big sloppy range. Nothing of significance happened there. Russell, just marking time. Nothing of significance happening there. The Dow had a good day, that day. Kind of stalled there. So wait and see there. Just giant trading range, but the head and shoulders top failed and you had the big spike. Okay. Crude oil, we've been talking about it on a support area. It's still holding. So this is the reverse of a breakout bar failure, which could be a breakdown bar failure. Consolidation, wide bar down, inside bar. Does it start to move back up? Set an alert. So, and you could look at USO, set an alert above the high of the wide range down bar. And what else can we take a peek at? Well, for the decent day there was yesterday, semiconductors didn't come roaring back. So, the big damage that was done yesterday wasn't anything to change it. Dan's mentioning to me the AD line that yesterday, he reminded me in the middle of the day. He says, Greg, did you notice that the advanced decline line is negative? Because, the S&Ps were going up. And was it here? Here it was. It was negative all day yesterday. And it closed negative. Interestingly, also, look where this equity put call ratio closed yesterday. When it closes down around 0.5 or 0.5 or so, the market typically goes down and you can see the total here is down below 0.8. So into the close yesterday, there's a very strong belief that the market will go up, buying options. But, I guess we'll see. We just look at the data, just look at, the past and, say, hey, look at what happened here. There was a lot of call buying. Here went down another day. So something to think about, as a contrarian point of view. Give me a second. I'm going to hand it over to Dan. Mid caps still look pretty darn good to me. This came off of the low and held up pretty good here. So there's a lot of things that we need to see how they're going to shake out today. That's really the bottom line. And we've got these, FANG stocks they're going to report. Yeah, IWM, I looked at the futures. And we could look at this held up well, just kind of hanging out there. So, which way are they going to go? I mentioned yesterday, if they clear these highs, things should be soaring. So if the markets are going up, say interest rates are going down and you see small caps taking out this high, it leads to the blow off scenario. So set some alerts and we'll see what transpires. And look, don't forget MT Live is today between 12 and 1. And so then we got to wait for the Fed. But, and we'll see what kind of price action that maybe we'll talk a little bit about that in MT Live. All yours, Dan.
Good morning. let me look at those out. Yeah, the reason I said MDY real quick was IWM is from a square top retracement. But yeah, let me look at your liquid ones there. And I posted a big list for credit spread ideas. So MDY. More liquid, 700,000. That doesn't bother me. Let's say that this is, I think, easier to get through, and it's stronger than IWM. MDY is above the 50. Ideally, this would break out, and then we buy a pullback to support. IWR, yeah, more of a square top again. IJH, that's fine. That one, IJH and MDY, and yeah, that's more liquid. I don't have any alarms going off. Strange. Edit here. I did have an alarm. It's a little bottoming pattern. We have a few from yesterday. A lot of things exploded. GoDaddy was nice. We're in eBay. Looks great. It's 1, 2, 3. Rocket Man, 1, 2, 3 bottoming pattern like that. Let's go up to earnings. Yes, FTNT looks great. We get a 1, 2, 3 and the crowd exploded. I wish we found that sector exploding earlier yesterday. And this is the hack sector, cyber security. Starbucks earnings gapping up, nothing. Things that are up this much and gapping up to resistance. That's why it's in my call spread watch list. But there are a lot of good credit spread ideas here. NXT is an excessive gap, but you can check the cousins. For put spreads, Cuervo, gap down, big old overlapping bars, no support, call spread idea. So you option traders, I'm going to need help watching these, but this is tier 1 credit spread if there's 5-minute low, if there's juice. Lima Charlie, gapping down, credit spread, but the gap's too big. You're not going to get anything. Yeah, I posted Dash as a put spread. Striker, showing its gap at 388. Perfect call spread idea. So here I'll type down. I gave a big list, but I'll tell you which ones I colored. Beautiful tier 1 5-minute low. Again, if there's weeklies, good premium, and tight spreads, that's our checklist. Charlie Bravo, I got no bias. Logi, it's a bullish gap. Possible gap and crap for a call spread. I wish it were gapping more. Like if this were gapping up $10, then I would love it more. Oh. Let's look at these two. Ash. Yeah, I have an alarm at 7210 bottoming pattern. Alpha X-ray. Yeah, I got an alarm on this already. Yeah, inverse head and shoulders looks great. Yep, that's a beautiful inverse head and shoulder. Left shoulder, head, 90% retracement, going sideways, neckline, boom. UMBF. I mean, it's a continuation pattern. And today's MT Live is M reversals versus continuation patterns. And this was not a W reversal, number one, but it looks higher. It's just a price void on this. Myrna actually had a downgrade. Here, RNA. Bottoming pattern. Bottoming pattern, that ain't bad. Not put that on the list, but yeah, it says bio in the title. YouTube, Raul, that's about Mike Charlie. Yep, Raul, you are our resident buy setup experts. And that looks fantastic. Mike Charlie, that's a quality buy setup on the daily. It broke out, pulled back from a V top, 180 reversal and support in the 50. So the only thing that would make it better, Raul, is if this were an end of day base at resistance. Because say the move from here to here, which is this 180 reversal, is at resistance. So ideally, you'll chop sideways till after 3 p.m. And if the market decides to rally, you can buy an afternoon breakout. But yeah, the daily looks great. All right, where did I leave off here? All right, FFIV. Bullish gap, excessive. That could be a call spread. Just because of excessive gap. It's bullish as can be gap, but excessive. Learn could be an exhaustion gap, although this is a very bullish 2-day base. Package call spread 2.25, but I doubt you're going to get any juice. Gap's too big now. Man H, I have bottom right here. Excessive gap. Man, look at the size of this gap way down here. I just flabbergasted of how bad it got whacked. But I'm assuming it's a real company. Sloppier inverse head and shoulder, gapping down. EFS, another sloppier inverse. I'm gonna delete these. Views, gapping up, no good void. R&R, that's a mess. I don't see any prints and there's no void. We'll come back to HLI. There's Alex Alpha X-ray. All right, see now it's gapping down. Well, I see one print. And there's your ash right there. I got them together. Bottoming pattern. It's not an inverse head and shoulder because the left shoulder isn't the same. However, it's a bottoming pattern, continuation pattern. So we'll see maybe 30-minute high. Inverse head and shoulder. Asmel, that's gapping right in the middle of this. So I said a condor is an idea. Selling it out of the money call spread up here, 790, put spread 660. TMAS, gap's too big. I was looking at that to do a put spread yesterday, and there was good patterns to do credit spreads in the earnings, but friggin' 90% of them did not have weeklies. Nasty gap here. I have no idea what that's going to do. ADP. Yesterday's high put spread. Off Delta getting whacked, call spread. So that's, I'm going to drag down the transports. NSC up a little, but no pattern. MSCI shows it at 620. If it does open at 620, 30-minute low, call spread. NDAC, gapping down, call spread. Corning, gapping up. I put it in my put spread list, but now the gap's too big. And I looked at that one also for put spread yesterday. Has possible measured move down if oils start weakening. Otis, call spread. Gib, nothing. Tiva, gapping down, call spread. LII 6.25, call spread. Flex 42, maybe put spread if it's a 30-minute high. San Francisco shows it gapping up. That's bullish all time frames. Let's watch a pullback. And San Fran, VFC. I wish it were gapping higher, and then it could be a gapping crap. Call spread, gapping down. AIT, EXP, beautiful. 15-minute low, call spread. Sell setup, little breakout failure here. Oh, hearing that? Oh, Vert, we did all right, Papa Bravo. I don't see any prints, but it's a continuation pattern higher. Yeah, Vert, yeah. As you know, we sold a put spread on that when you brought it to our attention. So I moved in Telegram, I moved the stop up to under $100. EAT, bullish gap, but excessive. Call spread watch. Vert, put spread idea, strong. GPI, strong, put spread, directional on a pullback, light volume though. That looks like all-time highs. SLGN gapping from an inverse head and shoulder. Can watch a pullback. $49 bearish gap, but too big. Wow, I think I heard the news said 20% of S&P is reported. Has some extended SMG, no good pattern. Maho, 15-minute low, call spread. And what perfect timing. I'm done with earnings. EXTR gap. All right, our eBay up alarm. And then just got sold into, but our stop is yesterday's low. So I will just reset my alarm. eBay 67.50. All right, that's it. Kind of quiet. All right, man H. So buyer stepped up here, but that means absolutely nothing within the first 1 minute. But let me see. And then, the spreads are going to be ludicrous here. There's no weeklies. And I don't even know if these options are open yet. The 200s are 0 by 390. So, yeah, nothing to do there, unfortunately. We'll see if it sets up as a scalp. A VRT low alarm. All right, this is the one we did on a put spread, gapped up. I said move it to break even. VRT, we did the VRT 96.92. You know what? I'm actually out of mine. I was shocked because I put a very low bid in yesterday. And then I got filled. It disappeared. All right, yeah, it's 16 cents. It's a little spready, so that doesn't mean you'll get filled, but let's go ahead and close half. Let's tighten the stop even more now. How about 105.28? Oh, it says 8 cents. Let's just close it at 8. Now, now I'm not in it, but if you don't get filled at 8, you got to keep adjusting penny by penny until you get out. That 2-1 is garbage. You know what? Bat 2-1 got me into this morning. this this gap up over all this junk. Wow, look at the volume already. So guess what, Alex? I had a bid at 95 cents right here. So I'm in at 95. I got an order to sell at 120. Let me put it here. Nice. That's all the bat 2-1 got me into that. Q's, wow, crazy differences here. Q's wide range down on the 5-minute, diamonds wide range up. But, no big deal on the daily. But I noticed Apple was down. Oh man, Apple's trading like a friggin' crazy man lately. Get Meta. When you get a run into earnings like this, my bias is lower. Well, let me rephrase. I don't care where it opens up tomorrow. Ideally, I'll open up $100 higher, and then I will be all over a call spread. MCK up alarm, but nothing to do. Ah, yeah, shoot, I forgot to look at cost. It was a 1, 2, 3. Darn it. So MCK, we're back to break even is why that alarm went off. Yeah, cost is a beautiful. I thought I wrote it down here. I'll set an alarm, but yeah, cost. I mean, let's see if there's any premium at 9:30. I'll set an alarm at 9:63. When is this company going to announce a split? All right, this Mike Charlie is coming in. Here, Greg, check this out. This was in the weekend ladder short, and I canceled it yesterday, but this is the trigger. Do you want it?
Looks like it.
All right. So many times I cancel them, but then I keep my alarm. Mike Charlie, that's from Raul. I hope we get our 1, 2, 3. MC, I think used to be Mastercraft. And now it's Moelis and Company. That's a nice buy setup. Costco alarm already. We'll check 9:30s. Not enough first spread. um, beautiful, long. But it's your call with how you want to trade ahead of FOMC. What? Yeah, well, it's not a flag at all. Wow, it's a rectangle. That is not a flag. It's a rectangle. I'm gonna buy you one of those little kids books about putting the square in the square, the flag in the flag, triangle in the triangle, holes, match them up. Well, I'm not going. I'm not going to waste time, but not the way we teach. All right, NUE is the 1, 2, 3. We sold on naked puts on this. All right, man H is bouncing here, but um, there was no weeklies. Yeah, I sold both the 120s and the 121s. I'm gonna just bid, see if I can get out on the bid. Yeah, 10 out of one of them. But yeah, beautiful, beautiful bottoming pattern. I mean, I know the 50's there, but so what? You got a big old void here. Let's see how it closes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's bullish. Yeah, that's not a pattern I want to mess with ahead of um, FOMC, but Michael Charlie, if the market were stronger, I would do 30-minute high, but I'm just not gonna mess with it right now. But that's a nice, beautiful buy setup. Oh, let me post this eye clear. Yeah. Feeling my other NUE on a tiny little pop. Yeah, look lower. Mick low alarm. I was tempted to bail on that break even. But I'm always managing tight.
Thought that was a short,
What?
that SMCI.
Right, I just said Mick,
Oh,
low alarm. My up alarm went off when we were at break even. And I was tempted to do it break even and but that's micromanaging. Yeah, SMCI, we're in it short. Ash, Alex, up alarm. Nice reversal. I don't like it here, but if it can go sideways, Ash. Nice comeback. Let me check puts. No weeklies. And I got no 69s, and the spreads are ludicrous. 10 by 80. So there's 3 vetoes for a put spread. Q spiders. Risk off. Broke the uptrend on the 15. Build on that. Puts. I'm sorry, the long calls. Yeah, I read that. Yeah, last weekend's paper. But maybe it's just an update or whatever. IGT, still a short under the lows. RF. It's up there at that prior high, but I like the 15 a lot. We're in K. I like KRE better. And we can add after the. No, I actually said you could add over Monday's high in our ETF letter. I'm gonna put a break-even alarm on this. We're in at 28.24, so we're only up 30 cents. All right, our Amazon, we bought a half lot yesterday. V-Zone, we have calls pulling in, eBay we know about, IBAN. Alex, I like IBAN better than your RF. Because I think it's easier to get through these tails than that gap reversal. We're already in it. I had an IQV alarm. Yeah, so that's stopped out. So, that onion. Might get it 1, 2, 3, which is what I wanted. Yeah, yeah, that's a grinder. Yeah, looks higher. Absolutely. Yep. Yeah, so do I. Right now, yeah, I do too. I'll set an alarm on it because I'm not in it. I'll just set it 59:05 and hope it doesn't go off till after PAL. All right, so Alex is AX. I'm gonna delete. Uh, Striker. All spread 405. There's no weeklies. San Francisco, I said, was bullish. Look at that. That's very bullish. Now trading over that 15-minute red bar. I would love to do the 111 puts, no weeklies, and the 110s are 60 by 190. Stifel Fennell Corp. This EXP was a pattern. I said you could trade up or down. And it has it right now. It's still battling in that little range. That beats. That's a big old gap, but that's not a pattern I want to do a call spread on yet. Avert gap and crap. No interest. GPI. I thought it was gapping up pre-market, but no pattern. Maho, there you go. There's a day trade short. Maho, 30-minute low. Let me check call spread too. There's no weeklies. And they're too spready. But Maho, I like 30-minute low. Yeah, Bat21 just showed me this company article. Oklo. Yeah, we looked at all these yesterday, remember? And I said 15-minute charts on a lot of them look great. Yeah, no, they all are candidates for day trade longs. So, and as you know, we did that put spread yesterday. All right, look at Ash coming in now, 50% retracement, LYV alarm, new high, good. Uh, so let's new alarms 142, 144. Make low alarm again. Yeah, darn it. Told you I was thinking I'm moving it break even, but I didn't. ABE alarm went off, didn't wait for me, but yeah, I like it, Alex. It's great. Yeah, man H. I would consider, put spread, but like I said, they were spready and no weeklies. Still be a put spread for sure under all that support, 32.50. No weeklies. This is getting annoying. But you know what? The 32s, if you don't mind holding 3.5 weeks, are juicy at 55 cents. But yeah, I was going to look at that next. I mean, they're related, right? They're both miners. So I like all the converging MAs, but it's top of the range. It's not related. I thought they were both. Is one a company? SLV is Silver Trust ETF. SIL is Silver Miners. Okay, so SIL is the miners. You know what? I'm gonna do a 32, 30 is 40 cents. Orders filled. Yeah, if it closes like this, I like it. I mean, it could be running in anticipation of the Fed meeting. Same old, up to you if you want to go in front of it, but yeah. All right, still let's do a put spread. I just did it. Sam, check earnings for me on SIL. All right, thanks. Here's another great example. I would never buy silk. So we're just, we're making the bet that it's gonna hold 32 bucks. But let me get a better stuff. I'll just give it a little lower. I'll do 32.8 stuff just to allow for some little down wiggles. It's a sloppy Ember's Head and Shoulder, but yeah, earnings. Earnings are have to bill. Wow, Alex, look at that. Ash gave it a middle chart here. I was watching for a controlled pullback. C. Well, yes, it is a 180, but typically we like the 180s to be bigger bars. But it is. It's just no support and it's far from the 20. So those are your downsides. Wow, Bert, new high. Cool. That still looks higher for day trading, but we already closed our put spread at 8 cents. That looks higher. Your VST came roaring back too. You said these 15-minute charts look good.